Welcome to the battlefield of global trade. No bullets, just tariffs. Two giant nations flex muscles, firing tax cannons at each other. Boom! Except the explosions aren't on borders, they land in wallets. Down below, small shops and workers get showered with economic shrapnel. Your favorite snacks, sneakers, even phone parts, suddenly more expensive. I'm Sidavi, your Stickman explorer. Hat on, bag ready. Today, we're investigating who really pays in this trade war. And spoiler alert, it's not the billionaires. Stick around. In fact, I challenge you to survive the next 10 minutes because every second reveals drama hidden behind numbers. And yes, I'll sprinkle sarcasm so you don't fall asleep. Let's roll into the sticky mess of tariffs and tantrums. A trade war is like a food fight in a cafeteria, except instead of mashed potatoes, countries throw taxes. Country A slaps 20% on imports, country B screams back. Soon the whole room is sticky, and the janitors are us, the people. In 2025, the US rolled out a universal 10% tariff. Think of it as a cover charge for entering the American market. Other nations didn't clap. They retaliated. Tariffs on cars, food, steel, back and forth like ping pong. The WTO reported global trade shrinking 1.5% in 2025. That's billions of dollars of goods vanishing from shelves. Except they don't vanish, they just get stuck or overpriced. And guess who foots the bill? Not the generals, but the foot soldiers. Translation, small firms, farmers, and ordinary workers. Meanwhile, the big guys, they dodge, pivot, relocate factories. They have lawyers and lobbyists on speed dial. You have rising bills. Example, beef prices in the US jumped 12% in 2024. Partly tariffs. The UN said global food prices hit their highest in a decade. For families, that's choosing between bread or paying the electric bill. And yet elites sip champagne while markets adjust. Convenient.
Let's zoom in on small businesses, the real underdogs here. When tariffs hit, their cost balloon, paperwork doubles. Some can't survive. Factories shut, shops shutter. Meanwhile, elites call it a strategic adjustment. Cheers! Over 200,000 manufacturing jobs globally linked to tariff hikes. Reports in 2024 confirmed waves of layoffs from Asia to Europe. For ordinary workers, that means less in wallet. Wages stay flat while prices climb. Perfect combo, right? Families cut meals, delay school fees, survival mode. And yet, elite consumption stays golden. Fair? Depends which yacht you're standing on. Consumers pay more, but CEO bonuses higher than ever. Tariffs also scramble supply chains. Made in China, suddenly made in Vietnam. Corporations just reroute while costs still fall on consumers. And when shipments stall, shelves go empty. Because who doesn't love paying more for less? Let's add some drama, because trade wars are basically soap operas. Leaders yell across podiums like it's primetime TV. Honestly, I need popcorn every summit. But behind the show, people wait outside locked factory doors. Farmers see crops rot because exports freeze. 2025 headlines read export bans, sanctions, retaliation. Globalization spins out and small economies get dizzy. Shops in developing countries forced to shut down. Meanwhile, elites escape to private jets. Timing, huh? Workers protest, we pay the price. And they're right. Inflation spikes. In 2024, global inflation hovered around 6%. World Bank confirmed higher tariffs fed directly into inflation. Bills piled up. Families got essentials. Elites, they sip Bordeaux while CPI rises. Small delivery guys collapse under rising logistics costs. And guess what? We're only halfway through this chaos.
Let's talk consumers versus elites, the most unfair seesaw ever. Consumers sink, elites float higher. Grocery bills are up.
Some foods doubled in price since 2024. Parents put snacks back because the budget can't stretch. Elites? They're still buying yachts. Luxury sales actually rose in 2025. Bravo! Ordinary workers, smaller paychecks, bigger bills. The math literally doesn't add up. By mid-2025, protests erupted in multiple countries. Farmers in Europe blocked roads against import duties. Truckers joined in shouting, "We can't afford diesel!" Meanwhile, inequality widened. Elites thrived, workers sank. For the poor, it felt like fighting a storm with no umbrella. For the rich, the storm was just background noise. CEOs still earn 300 times the average worker. True story. At this point, charts feel like comedy sketches. Quick history lesson. Trade wars aren't new. Remember the Boston Tea Party in 1773? Yep, tariff drama. Or the 1930s, when tariffs worsened the Great Depression. Countries raised walls and global trade collapsed. So, did we learn? Nope. We repeated the cycle 2024 to 2025, just new actors. Leaders brag, "We protected our economy." Sure, Jan. Meanwhile, citizens feel the actual crushing weight. The IMF predicts slower global growth in 2025 thanks to tariff fights. The world economy now limps instead of sprints. And households crack open piggy banks just to survive. Savings vanish, leaving coins instead of cushions. But elites, they're counting cash from new loopholes. Stock markets even went up. Disconnected from reality. Workers stare at wealth drifting further away. At this point, it feels like parody, not policy.
Okay, explorers, let's walk through the dark cave of 2025's economy. Consumers trip over rocks called debt and high prices. Small businesses drag boulders heavier than themselves. In the shadows, elites are feasting like it's buffet night. Ordinary people serve, elites dine. Nice system, right? Sarcasm intended. As small firms collapse, monopolies rise stronger. Big corporations stomp over what's left of mom and pop shops. So, how do ordinary folks survive this circus? Some grow their own food. Others cut costs by changing lifestyles. Key words: adapt, resist, unite. Communities support each other where governments fail. Because the real strength isn't in elites, it's in collective power. Hope shines even in tariff chaos. And trust me, the world's still worth fighting for. All right, explorers, what's the takeaway from this messy trade war? Winners, elites, and corporations. Losers, small businesses, workers, you and me. The scales aren't balanced, they're broken. And no, duct tape won't fix it because real lives are at stake, not just numbers. Elites celebrate, crowds grind harder. So what can you do? Stay informed, question the system, keep innovating so that your business can survive and grow. Use social media to develop your business in a positive way. So what do you think? Leave your comments in a nice way and don't bully. And hey, if you enjoyed this journey, support the channel with a like, share, comment, and subscribe. It keeps me, Sidavi, the adventure alive. And thank you. And don't forget to pay your debts.